Okay, shoot.
Hey guys, I'm Dave from Valley Express. We're going to show you how to unload a tanker truck today. So now that we're here, the first thing we're going to do is check in with the customer. Hey sir, how are you?
Good.
Hey, I'm Dave from Valley Express, and today I'm delivering 43,660 pounds of BW 422. Are you expecting this delivery? You got room for that product? Terrific, I appreciate it. I'll go ahead and start getting set up then.
All right.
Thanks.
Shoot.
Alright guys, so now that we checked in, the first thing we're going to do, because we're delivering wax, is take off our air intake assembly. So what we're going to do is take the deadhead off, relieve any pressure that might be on the tank, close that, and then we're going to go ahead and knock the donut ring off so that we can loosen it up nice. Alright guys, and we did that because we're going to pressurize the tank through here, so as you can see on the inside, we're completely coated with wax. So we're going to go ahead and steam that out and get it nice and cleaned out so that we can read our pressure gauge and we got good airflow, and then we'll go ahead and put it back together. That's it from top.
Want me to get this?
Sure.
Yeah. All right, there, yep.
And a nice on and off is going to get the wax out for you. Once you got it heated up, you can start digging your wax out of there. So we're going to go ahead and drop our airbag suspension, and that'll lower it even more for us, give us a better feel. Then we're going to connect the hoses, so we're always going to put our bucket in place so we don't spill anything. We collect the seals for the customer. And open that, we're going to make sure we're closed here and closed here on both our valves. Then we're going to grab the hose. We're going to take our intermodal fitting. We're going to check the inside, make sure the gasket is clean and not cracked and torn. We're going to go ahead and connect that. We're going to make sure we got a nice, snug fit all the way around. So we're going to connect our intermodal fitting. Our hose is already connected to the customer's tank. So we're going to connect it to our tank last. We're going to check again, make sure the gasket is clean and neat. We're going to connect that. Again, we're going to make sure our connection is nice and tight. If it wasn't, we would use shims. Then we're going to go ahead and put our safety straps onto each connection that we make. If you don't have safety straps, or the customer doesn't have safety straps to provide, then what we like you to use is duct tape all the way around both connections. So since it's a cold day and our tank is probably a little froze up in the bottom, we're going to go ahead and we're going to steam it. So we're going to heat the bottom of the internal valve so that it actually heats up nice and will open up for us 100%. So to do that, we're going to go ahead and make sure our internal valve is closed. We're going to open up our external valve. And we know it's closed because there's no product running. And then on our intermodal fitting, we're going to make sure that our bleeder valve is in the open position. And then we're going to ask the customer, can you go ahead and apply some steam? Thank you, sir. While he's...
Go ahead.
And we're going to grab our fitting. And we're going to go back up top and connect.
All right.
Alright guys, so we're up top again. We have our line getting steamed in the back of our truck getting steamed. We put our fitting back on. So now we're just going to connect the customer's air hose. Make sure it's nice and tight. And we're going to go ahead and climb down. When you climb down, always keep 3 points of contact.
Okay.
Alright, now that we're connected up top, our bottom's really steamed, we're going to go ahead and open the internal valve. So we're going to rotate the dial all the way till it's secure. And we're going to go ahead and pump it. Won't go anymore. Waiting about 2 or 3 seconds in between each pump. And if you look back here, you can see on our valve indicator that the valve is open. You can go ahead and air it up. So the customer is going to turn the air on. While he's doing that, we actually have product in our sump. I'm going to go watch the air pressure. And once the air pressure gets to 30 psi, I'm going to quickly come back down and open up my valves to flow the product to the customer's tank. We're coming close to 30 psi now, so we're going to go ahead and open our valve. Our internal's already open. We're going to open our external valve. Try to put a hand on the hose so you can sense the product coming through. You can also hear it coming through. We're going to open real slowly at first, just 1 or 2 turns. We're going to go ahead and make sure the product is flowing. We're going to look at our line, make sure we're not leaking anywhere. We're good. And the other reason we're waiting because we're letting the whole line fill up with fluid before we open up all the way, because the line had 0 pressure in it. So this way, when it's full of liquid, we won't lose all our pressure from the tank immediately. Now that our line is full, we can go ahead and open up all the way. And now that we're open all the way, we go back about a turn and a half. And then now that we're open, we don't have any leaks. We're just going to verify with the customer and make sure we're good. You're receiving our product. Sure.
Run up. Check.
Terrific. Thank you, sir. All right, now that we're done, the customer's going to go ahead and sign our bill for us. We're going to go ahead and take our copy. We're going to give him his copies, and we're going to let him know what he's getting. You're getting our scale tickets, light and weight, a bill of lading, a certificate of analysis, and the packing list. And then last but not least, thank you very much for your business, sir. We appreciate it. All right, guys, we just went empty. We knew we were empty because the customer notified me that they're not getting product anymore. And when I checked my line, it weighed about 50 pounds less than it usually does, so I know it's empty. So what I did now that we're empty, I left my internal valve open and I closed my external valve. And the idea behind this, we're going to let any remaining product or heel that's on the sides of the tank go ahead and coalesce and get to the rear and the sump. So we're going to wait a few minutes while that product coalesces, and then we're going to go ahead and open it one more time and blow the very last of that product out. That way the customer gets all the product that they paid for.
All right.
All right, so we went ahead and we waited for all the product to coalesce in the back of the sump, so we're going to head and open it one more time, and we'll get the tiniest amount of product out. I hear the air.
Yeah, I can hear the air blowing.
All right, and that's the very last, so we're going to go ahead and shut down now. We're going to go ahead and shut our internal valve first by pulling the handle, close, then we're going to close our internal valve. Now that we did that, when we're hooking up, we always hook to the customer's tank first, and it's the reverse when we're disconnecting. We're always going to disconnect from the highest point, which in this case is our tank. So now that we've completely shut down and our air's off, we're going to open our bleeder valve, and we're going to bleed any remaining pressure out of that line for safety. So now that we've bled it down, we can go ahead and disconnect safely. We'll take our safety straps off. Again, we make sure we got our gloves and our long sleeve. We're going to disconnect the dogs one at a time. Again, double checking that we're closed. Our bucket's in place to catch any product that comes out. And we're disconnected. We're going to go ahead and walk the hose back so that any product drains back into the hose. We're going to do the same thing for our IM fitting, one dog at a time. Have our bucket in place to catch anything that comes out. We're going to return this to the customer. We're going to double, triple check, make sure we're closed again. We're going to put our cap on and make sure that's nice and secure. Go ahead and put our bucket away. Thank you, sir. So you don't forget, before you do anything else, come back and reinflate your bags so that when you leave, you're not driving with lowered bags. Now we're going to go ahead and go back up top, and we're going to disconnect the airline and return it to the customer. We're going to close our bleeder valve, then we're going to disconnect our hose, and then we're going to go ahead and bleed our pressure off. hear the hissing sound, that's the pressure being bled off. So we're going to return the airline to the customer. We're going to coil the airline nice for him because it was coiled when we got here. So we're going to return it in the same manner that we found it. We're always going to try to leave the facility better than we found it when we got here. And with the handshake. See you. Alright, our pressure is bleeding off now. I looked at my gauge, it's about 5, so I can go ahead and help relieve the pressure a little bit by opening some of the dogs, so we're not going to take them off. So right here, we're just going to loosen them a little bit, but we're not going to open the dome lid. Just yet.
There we go.
Completely bled off. So we're going to loosen our dogs. We're going to give it a little tap to loosen the dome lid. And then we're going to go ahead and open it up. And if you take a look inside, we have 0 gallons of heel left. So we're going to close it back up. We're going to close our bleeder. We're going to put our cap back on. And we're on our way. We're going to do one last triple check, make sure all our valves and everything's closed before we go. And then that's how you do a successful air over pump delivery.